Well, a very good afternoon and welcome back here to the Central Coast Sporting and Recreation Centre in the heart of Tuggerah for the 2023 Junior Regionals Championships for New South Wales Touch Football. James Preston and Carly Banks to bring you all the action here between the Northern Eagles and the ACT Raiders, and the Eagles getting first use of the ball here up against their Canberra counterparts. And the Eagles now looking to search for an opening through the middle. Charlie Bailey promotes the footy on now to Miller Swain. And now wider still. There it comes, and they get the quick roll ball as well. Attacking at pace, Bailey floating a pass, just gone to ground. There was an opportunity there though, Carly Banks.
Yeah, nice little boost to play in that first set. And the Northern Eagles are coached by Michael Kelly. So Mick Kelly had a very successful career in Queensland, you know, as an Origin coach and stuff. He's been down in the in Northern Eagles region for a little while now, and yeah, taking on coaching director duties down there. So he's done a really good job getting these sort of girls together, and great to see the ACT Raiders out here doing what they do.
So change over here from the Raiders, which means the Northern Eagles get a chance to work it away from their own end now, up towards halfway. Now they'll pop up over it on the follow-up play. Still options here. Flanders with a little wrap around, and it's going to be pulled back on this occasion though. So just as it was building nicely, that's been left behind. So both sides just feeling each other out in the early stages here.
Yeah, definitely. Just looking to get a couple of set completions here to bankroll this game for themselves. So yeah, we'll see how they go. James are just easing into it, but really nice conditions to be playing touch in at the moment. Not too hot and not too cold, James. So yeah,
that's perfect conditions indeed. We are expecting some thunderstorms later this afternoon. Hopefully they hold off for a little while longer. There are a few ominous clouds floating about, but right now both these sides looking not for lightning to strike, but them to be the first try scorer and strike on the scorer sheet. But it won't be on this occasion, as the Raiders unable to find a decent pass at the death of that set there. So the Northern Eagles able to work it away from their own end once again now. Upfield they come. Pressure coming in from the inside here from the Raiders, turning them away. Quick little release here from Nowak. Now heading towards the sideline, and a real collision there too with some of the players, and they're not particularly happy with each other, funnily enough. It's got nothing to do with the teammates.
Hopefully she's all right. She's back to her feet. She's all good.
Very interesting scenes on the box there. There was actually a little bit of argy-bargy between the teammates afterwards. I hope things are okay there. But the Raiders will stick with the action here as they work it away from their own end.
James, you're such an exaggerator. It's all good.
Oh, come on now,
all
Carly
good.
Banks. I know who the exaggerator is out of the pair of us. I played on the 7 now. Canberra looking for a little attacking opportunity here. Couple of dummies. Oh, a lovely little pass around the corner there, looking for Lily Quigley. It was well disguised, just didn't quite come off though.
Yeah, the Eagles have really got to work hard, you know, to get some field position here and get down. They're a little bit one out at the moment, but they've brought the ball towards the box now, and that's 3. See if they can get a little bit of back-end flow here at the end of this set.
So Bailey links up here with Miller Swain, both from the Port Macquarie outfit, the Makos, who have done quite well in some of our recent tournaments, coming up with a few wins, especially in the Mixed Opens division.
Definitely in the country championships last year, James, and New South Wales State Cup, they always perform really, really well as well. So it's really good to see the Eagles, you know, getting themselves back into a position, you know, of strength over the last few years. And yeah, there's hopefully they'll just keep on improving and sort of working hard, you know, on their game. So
Heaver floats it wide. And then hopping in at acting half once more as Heaver firing a pass toward the middle. Well read, though, in defence from Charlie Bailey. Another one of those Port Macquarie players in this Northern Eagles side. As they head further up towards the halfway line now.
Yeah, better momentum in this set from the Northern Eagles. But as soon as I say it, the commentators curse. Yes, Carly Banks, keep your mouth shut. Fair enough.
On cue, on cue. We're not going to put that one in the bank. That is a Carly Banks special. So they float it from left to right. Heaver now out of acting half for the Raiders. They pop a very late pass, close to being a touch pass there. Once more, a slow approach in the set here as they wait to get those reinforcements onto the field. Now, Meatham with the little wraparound play and having a crack here as Mia Kelly got pretty close.
Ooh,
They
nice
just
effort
got her
there.
in time, though. They'll roll it back here for Daisy Craig. Craig now to Quigley. Quigley hopping in at acting half, and Quigley having a little scoot at them herself, running at some offside players, does the big 180, can't find a way through, and ultimately turns it over. But again, stern defence from the Eagles.
Yeah, no, they've done really, really well there because the camera girls, asked a couple of questions, of them, and I see over in the ACT Raiders sub box we've got Elise Wilson over there, who's been a member of the New South Wales Women's Open squad and the Mixed Open squad over the last few years. So lots of experience over there, along with Dee Smith working, with the ACT girls. So nice to see them, having the experience of their Women's Open players over there, guiding the girls. And that's what we see at this event, James. Lots and lots of the elite players are involved in sort of coaching the juniors, and it's a real opportunity to give back because a lot of these players have come through this system. And, it's fantastic that they're paying it forward to the next generation of players in New South Wales.
And what we've seen is the standard of touch throughout the past few years just increasing at every level, every age group. So it certainly is beginning to reap those rewards too. As the Northern Eagles come up over halfway, they'll be told to go back onto the mark though. Now they'll play it successfully with Marley Brown, the Taree product. She comes forward, touch is made though from Jess Graham. And still they drive through Brown here. In at acting half is Brian, who flings it off, caught middle of the ground. Bit of disconnect about the set so far. They didn't have the reinforcements quite on the spot. Swain popping into the action. Swain looking for an option back to the middle with Brown. Good touch is made though from the ACT Raiders. Coming across it was Jess Graham.
Yeah, definitely desperate touch made to prevent the Northern Eagles from getting on the board in this one, James. So it's a little bit of an arm wrestle at the moment between these two sides. It'll be interesting to see what happens over the last few minutes, over the next few minutes, to see if one of them will crack.
Of course, still level peggings here. Neil All. A bit of time transpired so far as the Raiders come up towards and now over halfway. Quigley with the short ball. Hobson at acting half on the last. Running on an offside marker. Oh, that could have been an old school obstruction there. Play on is the call for now. They make the touch anyway. In fact, are they going to call for the obstruction?
Yeah.
No, I don't know if it is the obstruction. I think it might be the touch pass, is it?
Yeah, Quigley's got really, really good footwork and really good agility. I'd probably suggest that her coaches are over there probably saying that you need to run a little bit more direct. I'd like to see her pick up out of acting half and run straight first and then put a footwork on because, she seemed to produce 1,000 steps that you'd be proud of on the dance floor, James, and sort of ended up in the same spot, similar to yourself. So, yeah.
You've clearly been watching me too well on Saturday nights. And it's exactly how things go as the Eagles look to launch a raid here. Flanders throws it over the top, and unfortunately there's nothing stupid, sexy Flanders about that.
Yeah, unfortunately, both teams just really lacking that sort of punch, at the back end of their sets. And I think sort of maybe getting on the transitions a little quicker would probably help both sides, and just a little bit more urgency would probably help them get down the park a little easier.
Good hands there from the Raiders. They managed to keep that ball live, especially when it was above the head of their winger on that occasion, which was Caitlin Arnold. They keep operating through this central passage. Now, there's no way they're onside there, so play on for the Raiders. Oh, they just had to have a look at Arnold, who was unmarked. They didn't get it out there, though. It stopped with the link, but Arnold in oodles of space.
Yeah, definitely, yep. Like, don't waste me, but unfortunately, fell on deaf ears, James.
Well, certainly they'll have another look at that particular play. They sucked him in nicely before spreading it wide. So there is an opportunity out there if they can try and work through the same passages as the go for the touch and then ultimately pick up an extra few metres. Now they're on the charge here with Crethar, the Ballina product, home of the big prawn. Plays it here on the last. Little short ball comes. They slide across well in defence, and Sarah Small makes sure that there is no big gap.
Does the big prawn still exist?
The big prawn does still exist.
Okay.
It's currently covered in scaffolding, though.
Yeah.
I believe they're doing a big, deep clean of it.
Nice, love it.
Which, in general, when you get a big prawn around Christmas, you should do a big, deep clean. You've got to remove the entrails and the poop chute. don't want to eat it with the whole thing at all, Banksy.
That's all right, James. I thought you'd know the answer to that. I just thought I'd throw it out there, and you did. Yeah.
A man that has all the
useless
answers.
information, aren't you?
I'm full of information. I don't know how much of it is useless. Thank you very much. As Cretha comes forward. Again, the Ballina product, home of the big prawn. Thank you very much. Here's Slater, also from Ballina, also the home of the big prawn.
Fantastic.
And they come through with Charlie Bailey. And now out to Swain. Swain having a little crack
fantastic.
at them. Good little roll ball. Once more, there's an option here for Bailey, but they just can't squeeze it through. But both sides getting into their rhythm a bit more now.
That's fantastic. And that was great momentum in that set from the Northern Eagles. And, really good, equally good defence from the Raiders.
So they'll pop it. And once more looking for meterage here. Floating a pass over the top was Meatham, who now hops in at acting half. Little short ball back through the middle. Good meters on offer here for Megan Scott, who gets up and over halfway now. Scott once more on the follow-up. Good touch coming in from Bailey. They play it quickly, and now they're off
fantastic.
here through Newton. Newton looking to link up. They'll get the first try here. Megan Scott coming through the middle. Try time for the ACT Raiders. They lead here in the 16 girls.
Yeah, fantastic direct line from Charlotte Newton. And that was one we were talking before with Quigley. And over there I can see Elise Wilson and Dee Smith, speaking to their players over there. And I think that they've hit on a bit of a recipe there to be a little bit more direct on the back ends of their set and unleash those acting half runners, which they did on that occasion. And they're out to a 1-0 lead, James.
Yeah, wonderful work there from Charlotte Newton with the assist, and Megan Scott finishing off. And of course, in our matches for this tournament, there is no half-time break. It is 25-minute matches, and when a side scores, the two teams change ends. So that's why you're now seeing a little changing of the emphasis here with Northern Eagles attacking from right to left on your screen. They come forward once again. Touch is made on Nowak from Maxville. They come across, sliding there, shutting it down, and Megan Scott, who's just scored a try, gets the touch just before the line here to prevent one. So the Raiders now working away from their own end. They pass from right to left, setting a nice little run here for Eden Morrissey, who's looking for the garden.
Yeah, but a really, really good defensive effort there from the Northern Eagles to snuff out that attacking foray from the Raiders. That was looking quite dangerous.
Unfortunately, Meatham pinged for not playing it square on that occasion, so the changeover directly on halfway. A big dummy comes in, and now room to move here for Donovan. Good meters from her. And she'll get another set to work with here, playing at the ball there, the ACT Raiders girls.
Yeah, interesting to see what the Eagles can conjure in this set of 6. If they get sort of close enough with their field position down here, then I'm sure they can put something on close to the line that they did in the early stage of the game. Nice use of the footy there.
Yeah, Brown firing long for Scarlett Simons. Now they pop back to the middle here with Harris. Harris is set upon pretty quickly, and they try and get out of there nice and quick. Now, I know what they were looking for there. It was a bit of gamesmanship coming out from the Northern Eagles, but ACT Raiders were already retreating. They weren't trying to play at that ball even though it came loose.
Yeah, good decision in the end by the referees. And now a piggyback penalty here for the Canberra Raiders to help them, or the ACT Raiders to help them get out of their end.
Yeah, big touch there, forceful touch in fact, and that's why we've got the extra set. So now the Raiders up towards halfway. The dummy comes there from Scott out towards Meatham, and now she receives it on the little wraparound. Scott back through the middle. Good ball for Newton. Those two have already combined for a try. They link up again here. Scott hopping in at acting half. Now popping a little pass, and they pick up easy meterage once again. Last play now for the ACT Raiders, back against the angle. And they were looking to set up another one. However, what they will get, even if it's not a try, will be another set to work with here.
Yeah, and this is danger signs now for the Northern Eagles with this potent attacking pair out here together, working again.
Scott, once more. Well, that'll be another penalty, so they're going to have to be careful here. That's 2. One more, and they'll have someone sat down.
Yeah, you definitely don't want that scenario at all. So I think Mick Kelly would be getting his Eagles girls to get out as far as they can to try and not concede another penalty.
They've done a good job there through Ava Cretha, who makes the touch. So midway through the count here, Scott still scheming, as is this woman here, Newton. Newton once more crabbing across field, trying to open them up. Well watched, though, from Sarah Harris. She tracked nicely from that middle positions. They keep cycling the ball here. Hassel plays it, and now Newton heads back towards the middle. Scott once more off the right foot in a bit of a haste there, trying to provide the pass. Just feeling a little bit cramped, but she didn't need to on that occasion. She had opened up the space enough.
Yeah, but full marks to the Northern Eagles girls' defence. They seemed to handle that defensive situation with aplomb. They didn't have any issues at all there. So, yeah, really well handled by them. And it's just this battle for them to get out of their own end. And this is a really nice run, giving them great field position on 3. And then we have another turnover. It'd be quite frustrating for the Northern Eagles team at the moment to sort of work so hard defensively and then to turn the ball over quite cheaply, coming out of their own end. And here's danger again. With the ACT Raiders and that girl Lily Quigley out there. I think she's sure to feature fairly prominently here right now.
Well, here she is now with the ball as Quigley provides it on to Heaver. Looking for an opening here. Heaver once more supplying. I think the 2 feet are back behind the line and they've made the touch. So Northern Eagles dealing with it well there. And now just one more to see off. And they don't have the strike dump. So Heaver hops in at acting half. Supplies for Kelly. Quigley, they're up very quickly. They've lost track of the count, and now that will be the turnover. And Quigley was thinking she was off, and how easy is this?
Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing, always counting your touches, knowing where you are on the field. It's massively important, obviously, to be able to, keep track of those things when you're looking for your strike dump. So let's see if they can complete a set here. If the Eagles complete a set, I feel they're a little bit hard done by there because I honestly feel like the ACT girls were probably a little bit offside there and the player was probably well within her rights to sort of take that step. But unfortunately, been called for over the mark and, they're under the pump yet again, James.
Yeah, they've been unlucky the last few sets, but as have you, Carly Banks. Each and every time you said they just need to complete this particular play, it's that exact play that the turnover comes.
Yeah, definitely. You take the next set, James. I don't want to jinx them anymore.
Well, here we go with the ACT Raiders, though, finding an easy passage through. Now, was there a late touch there? I thought, yes, they got there in time. Referees on the spot. That's good scrambling defence there from the Northern Eagles. So score remains just the 1 try so far with about 8 minutes to go. Raiders up 1-0. But they are certainly in this one here, the Northern Eagles. They'll come up towards halfway. Good little hands there with a pass that was behind. Just managed to reel it in and stay in the field of play. So they'll keep promoting the footy here. A couple of dummies and then a lovely release out there for Marley Brown, who's caught. Brown once more on the follow-up as Harris, who's looked pretty sharp for the Eagles, once more gets involved. Brown playing it. Harris, an option in support. Now they go that way. Harris plays it really quickly, gets the strike dump. Crethar's away from them. Crethar can't score herself. There's Harris on the spot, and Harris produces the result for them. Try time for the Northern Eagles. We are all locked up.
See, I'd be quiet, James, and they score. That's the go. So, no, a fantastic piece of play from the Northern Eagles, and they'd be really, really happy with that effort because, they've done a mountain of defence on the scoreline, and having those errors coming out of their own end, and they finally put a set together, and, and they get the reward. So this is a very intriguing game here, James. It's very well poised at the moment.
Certainly is. It's on a nice edge at 1 try apiece. Raiders scoring first, and now the hit back coming from the Northern Eagles through the form of Sarah Harris, one of only 2 Taree players in this lineup. She's been very sharp for them. So too has Quigley, though, for the Raiders, who gets them moving in the right direction. She'll play it now with Graham, waiting and acting half an hour. Back to Quigley. Graham once more. Plays it nice and quickly for Quigley. Quigley has them backpedaling. Quigley looking for support, popping a pass. Oh, geez, there was an opportunity for the intercept there. Ultimately, I think it was a reverse falcon. Yeah. But that will be the changeover here. So a falcon for the Eagles.
But that's much better to see Quigley running a direct line with her speed and agility, like being able to actually take on the offside defender and run a more direct line, gives her an easier thoroughfare through there, and she got over the scoreline really easily.
So now the Eagles up towards halfway, and they'll dummy a couple of times. Was that played up from Quigley? Yes, it was. Referees on the spot once more. So under 6 to go. It's all locked up here at Tuggerah. 1 try apiece in the 2023 Junior Regionals in the 16 girls division. Northern Eagles with ball in hand. Most recent try scorers. Nowak crabbing across field. Easy meters here for Nowak, who delays the pass. A beautiful delay on it, and a wonderful line run there from Kira Donovan from Maxville, who goes in and puts the Eagles in front for the first time this afternoon.
Yeah, but Savannah Nowak, what a really good ball player. She's been instrumental for the Northern Eagles right from the get-go, and she just shows her nous then in terms of picking the right line to run, and then, you know, the ever-present Kira Donovan finishing off the try, and, a 2-1 lead now for the Northern Eagles.
Yeah, great line from the link in the form of Donovan. Now the Raiders have got work to do, and that's not going to be the way to go about it.
One hand, one bounce.
One hand, one bounce. It's old-school cricket rules in the backyard. What were you like as a backyard cricketer, Carly Banks? I know you're a handy touch footballer.
I did.
That's actually news to me. I wasn't aware that you played for Australia.
Under 21s. Yeah.
You're very good then. What sport aren't you good at? We know you're not very good when it comes to jinxing people, though.
That's right. I'm the biggest mock in the world, James, so, yeah, that's not a good rap at all.
And they've floated out to the right-hand side. They'll play it very quickly here for Harris, who's already got to try herself. There she is once more. Last play now as Harris will go back to that 7-metre mark. They don't have the strike dump to work with. Harris floats across field, eventually links up with Brown, and that is the turnover. We don't need the one hand, one bounce rule there because that is all going the way of the Raiders.
Now, this is a really important set of 6, I'd suggest, James, given the context of the game. So it'll be interesting to see what the Raiders can do.
Oh, here we go, and straight away they launch the raid. Plenty of pace as well about Hassel. Hassel is being hassled by the defence. Ultimately comes out for Arnold, and Arnold goes in and says, "Get to the chopper! Try time!"
And it is a clean set of heels there, and she's been threatening all game. She's been wanting that ball. A few times they should have released to her. So Arnold's shown, exactly what she can do when she gets a little bit of open space and the ball in hand. And 2-2. This game is very, very exciting, James, and we're in for a big finish, I think.
Yeah, about 3 minutes to go here, Carly Banks, and it is all locked up, 2 tries apiece. And that one, I believe, they might just say, let's play that again, because I think there was a bit of a stray hand in there, but also a loose carry at the same time. Yeah, that's a good call from the refs.
Super call from the referee. Really, really sensible. Made the right decision there, and the girls can continue playing, which is fantastic.
So Bailey floats it out and then finds the support of Grace Smith, who's been in the wars with both her own teammates and the opposition so far. She's copped a bit of a bundling touch over the sideline and then also had one of her own players bundled into her as they keep promoting the footy here, but they're going to pull it back because there was, of course, a touch pass in the process. So with about 2 on the clock, it is all to play for. They might get 1 full set at the line each here, these 2 sides.
Yeah, critical sets, as you've alluded to there, James, like just getting out of their own ends, massively important, and that's a really good get-out first touch for the Canberra Raiders, who are there at their box at halfway on 2, and be interesting to see what they can do with this back end. So these subs coming on with some urgency could spell danger for the Northern Eagles.
There's a lovely flow about the set so far as Graham gets involved. The ball's gone to ground, though, and there you go.
Wow.
Now, I've got the commentator's curse on them. That's fallen apart, and it does open up an opportunity here for the Northern Eagles. So they're about 15 away from that halfway line here as they pop a pass, which is a shocker, unfortunately.
It's the hot potato. What's going on, girls? Just settle down and complete your sets.
Yeah, the completion rate's been pretty good up until the last few moments, and now it's just coming unstuck. Maybe it's a bit of scoreboard pressure here, knowing the time is running out, knowing it's all locked up. They want to put their best foot forward, but they've got to make sure they hold on to the ball to do so. They'll get another set to work with here, the ACT Raiders.
It'll be interesting to see what play. I can see the coaches over in the ACT box calling to their players about what play they'd like them to run. And, that's clean. That's a fair decision from the referee.
So the Northern Eagles, they won't have to contend with too much defensive work there. Instead, they get use of the ball after play 2 from the Raiders. And now working upfield nicely. Very late pass there. They keep promoting the footy. It's enterprising play. They just end up catching her in time. Isabella Slater, she was nearly away from them. One of these 2 Ballina girls in the lineup. Of course, also 2 Taree players and a few Maxville and Port Macquarie players out there for the Northern Eagles. From the great regions across Australia. The big dummy coming in, nearly getting away from them there. Once more, Sarah Harris has been so strong for them in this match as we come inside the last 30 seconds or so here. So
yeah, they really need a strike dump here and just to scoot out a half and have a crack. I think that's her best chance.
Well, here is Brown. They don't quite have the strike dump on this play. They might get one more to work it. No, they won't. So the final right of reply, you'd imagine, will rest here with the Raiders, but I reckon they've only got about 2 plays to work with, so they've got to be pretty expansive with how they're doing things. Yeah,
they're not showing a great deal of urgency on that last play, and here we are. Last play right now, James.
Quigley gets away from the first potential touch. Now it's still alive here. Quigley keeps the ball alive. Off to Scott. Quigley again. Scott, a couple of dummies. It's still here for the ACT Raiders. They work a short side raid. Nearly opened it up. It was played at. And I think they'll call it there. Yes, they will. But, geez, it was still alive right at the death. Yeah, really, really enterprising play there from the Canberra, from the ACT Raiders. Like, really chancing their arm, which is what you do in that situation. But quite an entertaining game between these 2 teams. And, I think a worthy result, James, in terms of a draw for that particular contest. But I'm sure that both teams will improve, as the tournament unfolds, over the next 24 hours, and be interesting to see how far they both can go. Yeah, they certainly were very evenly matched in this one. And at full time between the ACT Raiders and the Northern Eagles, it does finish at 2 tries apiece. And coming up next for you here on our main field for the 2023 Junior Regionals Championships, we move to the 16 boys division with the Hunter Western Hornets taking on the Scorpions. Don't go too far, all the action in just a moment.